Hi, I'm Carola and I have lived in Paris during confinement, and I would like to tell you what was going on since March. It all started in the beginning of March. The first thing that got a bit strange was when our director came into the office and said, hey, from now on the government asked that could you please not kiss each other in the mornings? Because in France, in the morning either you shake someone's hand or you kiss them, unless they very specifically say that they don't like that. Then on the 13th of March, which was a Thursday, Macron said that from Monday onwards the schools would be closed. Over the weekend the rumors got louder that there would be another presidential announcement on Monday evening. And then on Monday the 16th of March at 8 p.m. the president announced that from the next day onwards France would be in lockdown. So then on the 17th, from noon onwards, if we wanted to leave our apartment, we would need an attestation. The attestation could be downloaded from the government website, or you could write it down yourself by hand, but you were not allowed to use a digital copy. In the first week, when you wanted to leave the house, you could cross off 2 reasons. For example, if you wanted to go for a walk and then go shopping, then you would make 2 crosses. The next big thing came on the 23rd. They have changed the attestation, because at first people were filling it out once and then using it the whole day. On the 23rd of March, the government announced that they had prepared a new attestation where you now would have to put down the exact minute when you were leaving the house. For some reasons, like the physical activity box, you only had 1 hour to fulfill it. Other reasons, like shopping, were allowed to take longer, but you had to decide beforehand why you were leaving. The craziest thing I had heard was if you were crossing off that you were going for essential shopping and then they would find you with buying just a baguette, you would have to pay the fine of 135 euros. So those baguettes were getting expensive. If you said you were going out for sport and then were out longer than 1 hour, you would get a fine. If you said you were going to work, then the work would need to provide you with the second attestation that you were actually going to work and where work was. Lockdown had been announced to last 14 days, but on the 27th of March there was another announcement that it was prolonged until mid-April. On the 7th of April there was another announcement. And this time I'm not sure if that is for all of France, but it certainly was for Paris. Because people had been using the "I'm doing sports" excuse too much. This was getting cut down. So from now on you could only do sports in the morning, and I think it would end at either 9 or 10. And then you could only do it in the evening from 7 p.m. onwards. They also changed that from now on all physical activity had to be done in 1 kilometer around your address. It was still possible to walk outside before 7 p.m. with the other members of your household. On the 13th of April, lockdown was extended one more time until the 11th of May. Shortly before the 11th of May, France was divided into red and green départements, depending on the outbreak. And of course, Paris was a red département. During lockdown, only essential shops were open, so supermarkets, food stores, tobacco stores and pharmacies. It really looked like lockdown was going to be over on the 11th of May, but for Paris there were a lot of restrictions. For example, the parks weren't open yet, while in green départements the parks were open. Shops were opening, but with severe restrictions. It was also announced that masks would be available from the 11th onwards. You would need to register at a website and then you could pick one up at your local pharmacy. Hand-sewn masks started to flood the market. Restaurants were only allowed to open for takeaway. The next phase of deconfinement started on the 2nd of June. Parks were finally reopened. Restaurants were allowed to reopen, but only with outdoor seating. So every restaurant pulled their tables in front of their door, and in some areas with a small sidewalk, the street was blocked off. In Paris, a lot of streets were blocked off for cars. The mask rules from the 11th of May onwards were that you had to wear a mask to use public transport, and depending on the shop owner, they might require you to wear a mask as well. The mayor of Paris said that she would appreciate if everybody also wore their mask outside, but it wasn't mandatory. I hope you enjoyed the update. Talk to you soon. Bye!